and we begin with an update to breaking news we first told you about at 4 o'clock. R. Kelly sentenced in New York today to 30 years in prison for sex crimes.
We're digging into what that means for his trial here in August. CBS 2's Sharday Gray is live in the newsroom with the emotional moments in court today and what's next. Sharday.
Jim and Erica, R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison with 5 years supervised release. He still has his trial coming up in Chicago in a few months, where he's facing charges of child pornography and obstruction of justice. We spoke with a legal expert about how today's trial could shape his future here in Chicago.
I never thought that I would be here to see him be held accountable for the atrocious things that he did to children.
Through tears and anger, R. Kelly's accusers told a court he preyed on them and misled his fans. Speaking out in a Brooklyn federal court at his sex abuse sentencing, accusers said, "You made me do things that broke my spirit. I literally wished I would die because of how low you made me feel."
R. Kelly preyed upon children and young women for his own sexual gratification for decades.
Here we go. R. Kelly's attorney, Jennifer Bonjean, argued that the government's understanding of the appropriate sentencing range was flawed, asking Judge Ann Donnelly for a sentence of under 10 years.
There was no enterprise. There was no enterprise. It was one man with allegations by a number of women, which doesn't make it an enterprise. And that is why he's not guilty of racketeering.
A jury last September found Kelly guilty of all charges at the racketeering and sex trafficking trial. Kelly now goes on trial for child pornography and obstruction of justice charges in federal court in Chicago starting August 15th. He's also facing multiple sexual assault and sexual abuse charges in Cook County. We asked legal expert and attorney Rachel Cannon, with the outcome of Brooklyn, what's expected for his trial in Chicago.
Sometimes when defendants receive lengthy sentences in one case, they may want to try and resolve all of their other cases by way of a guilty plea.
She says the sentence could possibly create plea deals in other cases he's charged in.
There's often an incentive for defendants in criminal cases charged in different locations to plead guilty, because it does give them some sort of certainty or predictability as to the outcome.
He's also facing charges of prostitution involving a child in Minnesota. Cannon says if he's convicted in his trial back home, he could face a minimum sentence between 15 and 25 years. Reporting in the newsroom, Sharday Gray, CBS 2 News.